Week 5, and we are talking about genetically modified organisms or GMOs. So, I'm not an expert in GMOs. I do know enough to know that we need to be really educated about GMOs and how to avoid them in our family's diet as much as possible. So, I want to talk to you about why you want to at least have some baseline of knowledge about GMOs and how you want to know how to avoid them for your family. So, what are genetically modified organisms or GMOs? They are plants or animals created through the gene splicing techniques of biotech. It's also called genetic engineering or GE. It's really an experimental technology and it merges the DNA from different species, creating unstable combinations of plant, animal, bacterial, and viral genes that can't occur in nature or in traditional crossbreeding. So, problems with GMOs. So, GMOs are unhealthy. Animal studies, like this one that this rat was a part of, show organ damage, gastrointestinal and immune system disorders, accelerated aging, infertility. Human studies show how genetically modified food can leave material behind inside us, possibly causing long-term problems, which common sense to me tells us that it does cause long-term problems as well as short-term problems. Genes inserted into genetically modified soy, for example, can transfer into the DNA of bacteria living inside of us. So then it becomes a part of our DNA. And then the toxic insecticide produced by GM corn was also found in the blood of pregnant women and their unborn fetuses. So genetically modified organisms are causing problems. They're causing problems in the animal studies. They're being found in human beings and are in us and becoming part of our DNA. So we need to learn more about them. GMOs contaminate forever. So they cross-pollinate and their seeds can travel. It's impossible to fully clean up our contaminated gene pool. Once these genetically modified organisms are out there, which they already are, we can't take it back. We can just do our best as moms to avoid them as much as possible by the choices that we are making as we feed our family. So this self-propagating GMO pollution is really, according to many experts, going to outlast the effects of global warming and nuclear waste. The potential impact is huge, threatening the health of future generations. Oh gosh, it feels very overwhelming. So I'm going to get to a part in the presentation where we talk about, so what can we do? Another problem with GMOs is that they increase herbicide use. So most genetically modified crops are engineered to be resistant to herbicides or herbicide tolerant, and that's a deadly weed killer. So Monsanto is one of the main players in this whole thing, and they sell Roundup Ready crops, and they're designed to survive applications of their Roundup herbicide. So between 1996 and 2008, U.S. farmers sprayed an extra 383 million pounds of herbicide on GMOs. And so then what happens is we have super weeds that are actually resistant to the herbicide, and that's causing farmers to use even more toxic herbicides every year. So it's contributing to environmental harm. But then the GM foods contain higher residues of toxic herbicides. So, and Roundup, for example, is linked with sterility, hormone disruption, birth defects, and cancer. So what are the biggest GMO crops? So, according to the Non-GMO Project, who works diligently to educate the public about this issue, these are on your screen. These are the biggest GMO crops currently. So you'll see alfalfa, corn, flax, rice, sugar beets, yellow summer squash, canola, cotton, papaya, soy, zucchini, and wheat. So these are things that we want to be avoiding in the conventional form because likely they are genetically modified. Also, ingredients from these crops include, it's a long list, but you can see on your screen, amino acids, aspartame, which is the artificial sweetener, ascorbic acid, vitamin C, high fructose corn syrup, different flavorings, molasses, sucrose, all kinds of things. Lots of vitamins have genetically modified ingredients in them. And then the animal products that you see are also considered high risk by the non-GMO project standard because of the the potential GMO contamination in feed and just other ways that they're contaminated. So our milk, meat, eggs, honey, and other bee products are also high risk. What about GMOs in kids? The sad truth is many of the foods that are most popular with children contain GMOs. So cereals, snack bars, snack boxes, cookies, processed lunch meats, crackers all contain large amounts of high-risk ingredients. I mean, whenever we see conventional sugar, conventional canola oil, those things are likely genetically modified. So even if we're choosing products that don't have the artificial colorings or artificial flavorings, if they have canola oil in them or if they have conventional sugar, flax, those things, there's a great chance that they are genetically modified. In North America, over 80% of our food contains GMOs. If you're not buying foods that are non-GMO project verified, I'll show you that seal in just a few moments, most likely they're GMOs. So we want to vote with our dollar. Non-GMO stock prices soar. This was a headline that I picked up as Americans make wide food choices. So the good news is people are aware of this. We are speaking out, but Monsanto and other companies put billions of dollars behind their cause to really stop us from even labeling genetically modified ingredients in foods. So you see the non-GMO project verified seal there, which is awesome. So 3 tips for avoiding GMOs, because it's going to be really overwhelming, especially if you're new to this journey and you're just trying to get your kids to eat some broccoli or, to eat some really good chicken. And now you're thinking, oh, geez, I have to worry about GMOs. So here are 3 tips to help you avoid GMOs. So the first thing is make sure you go to the non-GMOshoppingguide.com website or download the app. They have an awesome non-GMO iPhone app. And so there are lots of foods that have gone through the trouble to become certified in this project, and they will have that label, the non-GMO project verified label. Also, when you buy organic with the USDA certified organic label, those products cannot intentionally include any GMO ingredients. So when you buy products labeled 100% organic, that would be the best because then all of it's organic. But even if you organic or made with organic ingredients, then you have a better chance that you're avoiding the GMOs. Now, if a food product is not labeled organic or it's not verified with that non-GMO label, you want to avoid products made with ingredients that are likely derived from GMOs. So the list here, the 8 GM food crops, the big food crops are corn, soybeans, canola, cottonseed, sugar beets, Hawaiian papaya, and some small amount of zucchini and yellow squash. So we want to get those organic whenever possible. If a non-organic product made in North America lists sugar as an ingredient and it's not pure cane sugar, then it's almost certainly a combination of sugar from both sugar cane and genetically modified sugar beets. And same with dairy products. I mean, they can come from cows that are injected with the genetically modified bovine growth hormone. And so you want to look for dairy products that absolutely have no RBGH or RBST or any artificial hormones. So those are some ways to avoid genetically modified ingredients.